Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. As we celebrate Black History Month, I wanted to bring on movers and shakers in our community. And the gentleman that I have here is definitely fits that profile. I have on the pastor of Confidence Missionary Baptist Church, none other than the Reverend Michael Jackson. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Alton, for having us on here this morning, and we're excited to be able to share some of the wonderful things that's going on within the community and the surrounding communities, and at the church.
And at the church, that's right.
Sir.
You know, and Michael, I know that you don't need an introduction, and you just did a great one, but just tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
I'm Pastor Michael Jackson. We say it like this, the Confidence Missionary Baptist Church here in the great city of LaGrange, Georgia. Been pastoring now going on 19 years this year.
Okay.
Been preaching 21 years. Wow. Grew up right here, small community. We call it the west side of town, but we call it Bellline.
Okay.
Grew up in Bellline. Family man. Have children and grandchildren.
Okay.
My pawpaw.
Oh, I know that.
And so I'm a chaplain with the senior chaplain with LaGrange Police Department. I'm a chaplain. I serve also with Troup County Sheriff Department. Also former board chair for LaGrange Housing Authority, and I just like serving.
You know what? With all those titles and everything, you definitely are a busy man, aren't you?
I don't want to forget one. And I've just became a board member for United Way.
Oh, wow. Okay. And that's a great organization. I've served the United Way a number of years and been on the allocations committee. So it's a great opportunity to see the agencies in our community. And when you talk about service, being a service, when you look at those agencies and the services they provide, and then you wonder how they are able to accomplish what they accomplish.
Yes, sir.
You will see him what I'm talking about momentarily, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, Michael, like you said, you've been here in our community, grew up hometown guy, grew up in the Bellline area. I know that area very well. My brothers are from that area as well. Pastor here in the church. And I'll just talk a little bit about the community and pastoring and how the community and pastoring can come together, Michael.
One of the things, Alton, I think that in pastoring, because you probably remember coming up that the church had such influence, and the church still has influence, but I think the church plays a vital part within community because it's the pillar. It sits there. Most churches sit there in the heart of the community, and so between church and the community and the government, or we would say the city, they work together. I think a lot of things could transpire, a lot of things could happen. Because pastors have, just as well as different organizations have influence, pastors have influence within their people. And so it's very vital.
Absolutely. And you know, I want to take that just down a little bit further. You know, Michael, when you and I were growing up, Sunday morning, we knew where we were going to be. Sunday morning was Sunday school. Oh, there we go.
You went to church. If that was an evening service, you went back to church.
That's right.
As it's coming up, you had to say a Black History speech. You were going to say an Easter speech. You were going to Bible study. You were going to vacation Bible school. All those things were so vital, but it was so pivotal within the families.
That's
and
right. It
still is the glue that keeps the family together. There's power in a praying family.
Let me ask you, why do you think, because you and I came up in that way, in that area, why do you think our youth of today are not being channeled to the church as we were? Well, you know, a lot of times now the parents say, are you going to church? We were not asked that question. We were told. Why do you think our youth of today, and do you think if we could get our youth back in the church that we would see some of these things that are happening in our community subside somewhat?
I think if we get the youth back in the church, I think the trend would subside. Again, as you said, Alton, we didn't have a choice.
That's right.
You were going to church. It was firmness. That church was vital. After church, you can go play. After church, you'll get an ice cream. It wasn't church wasn't an option.
That's right.
It was a must, and so that's what made us so pivotal. It's been pivotal and blessing to our lives. Don't mean that we have not come short in any areas, but those balances have helped us to stay stable within our lives.
That's right.
I think our children it has to get back to somewhat of influence of the family, of making it vital, not a choice. Now, if you're grown, You get your own house.
That's right.
But in my house, the scripture tells us.
That's right.
For in my house, we will serve the Lord.
That's right.
And so those things are vital. And then also as a church, there have to be pivotal things that the church offers that can engage the youth.
Yes.
The trend of not saying you move away from the biblical principles or the biblical points of church, but we have to be able to engage it. That's why it's so vital. Children's church. Youth activities, so that because there are ways to teach them the word and yet still engage them biblically within the word, and yet still have fun with the word.
That's so important too, what you just said, Micah, because I think a lot of times you get the young kids, they're sitting there with the adults and they don't understand, so they're fidgeting, they're playing, and various other things of that nature. So that's so important, the point that you brought out there.
I want to share with you, even my grandkids. They'll say, Papa, we having children's church, and they'll kind of let me know. We enjoy children's church because at our children's church, they have their own time, activities. The youth leaders, they set it up, or youth directors at other churches, they set it up. Some that's on a larger scale, they have their own praise and worship. They get a word. They have the basic necessities of church, but they're in their own setting. And then there comes a time, like on first Sunday, fourth Sunday, all is youth. Everybody comes together at Confidence. We all come together to worship together on the fourth Sunday. But most of the time on first, second, and third, that's their children's church time. And we try to keep that balance because it's very vital for our children to get their concept and understanding what they need. And then you got to think they only can stay still for so long.
That's right, the attention span.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, great things that you all are doing. In talking about church, I want to jump around a little bit here now, because we've seen that when there's been, maybe some traumatic or events that have taken place, your church has been there and your congregation has been there kind of like as first responders. Talk about that and that service to the community.
Again, that started from my childhood. My grandmother and my mother, them, of course, my mom, my aunts, my grandmother Bessie Mae Jackson, but I always had a passion for serving. Started even at my home church, which is Valley Grove. I started Reverend Sheridan, then Jonathan Carter came there. I used to tote his Bible briefcase for $2 a Sunday. I wasn't a pay, but it was just a little gratuity.
Right, there you go.
Then my pastor, Pastor Martin, who's there now, I served, and so I believe that giving back is very vital. When I went to Confidence, I saw Confidence. I've heard of Confidence, but didn't know that would be the place that God would plant me at. Our very own mayor is who introduced me to Confidence. Mayor Dr. Willie T. Edmondson introduced me to it. I went to the wrong place for a couple months. He said, "No, that's not who I told you. I told you to call this person." And so, but Robert Adams, who built the church, him and his wife, Mother Barbara Adams, and two deacons and their wives built the church over 30-something years ago.
Wow.
Probably only about 6 people built the church. The basement wasn't complete when he passed, but they served the community, and the spirit still resonates in the church.
Wow.
And so we found it so pivotal, so vital for us as a church to be that first responders, because when people are in a critical place in their lives, they look to the church. They look for hope when there's no hope. They look for a place to find peace when there's no peace. And so we should be that first responders, because even in law enforcement, government, and fire, when you get through answering a fire call or medical emergency or whatever, where do you vent it? Who prays for you?
Right.
You can't possibly keep carrying that on your shoulder. So that's why we found it so vital, and we try to step up. That's been one of our pivotal points as our growing church, our outreach. We started over close to 19 years ago. That's what we started, and we just love serving. I have a heart for serving, and God has sent me some of the greatest people that have a heart for serving. You can call them right now and say, "We finna meet at the courthouse steps step. Promise you, we'll get 10. Where they come from, I don't know. But now, if it's a day where we can advertise, we literally will fill it up.
Okay.
When we get hospital calls, we literally have to just send it to certain people because the whole church will come.
That's awesome. That's all. And that's what it's all about. You're talking about being that servant, and you used the term a moment ago about you want to be that liaison between those community, the church, and the city. The 3 C's, and then service.
I got 3 C's for you, and my servant leader shared it with me, and I want to share it with you. We must be committed. We have to be confident in who we are, but we must be consistent. People stick where there's consistency. People stick where there's commitment. But then we as a church have to be confident that God placed us as confidence there for a purpose. And we have to operate in the realm on godly principles, but yet we have to operate the way confidence would operate. And that's what makes us more puts us in a comfortable place, because we're not trying to be nobody else but who God created us to be. And so it's so pivotal that we be the liaison between it. I often see, and I want to brag on our city because we do a great job together. And I often see in other cities as well, as I shared with you prior, that when they have Christ, they go to those pastors. Now, can you rally those people up? And they make sure they know who that particular shaker or mover that can pull the people together.
That's right.
And they say, look, we need to get this done. We're going to do it. And it's so many things that we could do as church, community, that we can get on a whole bigger scale for as when you put those liaisons or those pieces of the puzzle together. For instance, I saw it in Atlanta at a couple places where the city gets the supplies because they got the connection because they're the city.
That's right.
They get supplies of food and nothing. We have a great food bank here, but they get supplies on a different level. But guess who they call? Church. And can you make sure these get distributed? And they do it within the church. They can get it distributed, or the churches, because the churches partner together.
That's right.
To make sure that they have the necessary tools. We've had, just recently we did a giveaway. We had Dollar General, a whole 18-wheeler.
Wow.
Supplies that we were able to bless local entities. We were able to bless nursing homes. Some of our local LPD came out and helped.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we took stuff to the nursing home, but we were able to pull it together simply because of places like that. One of the disciples worked there. The worker was just talking. They overheard it. Said, my church is doing it.
Oh, wow.
When the tornado came, the last one, because of our city, because of the sheriff department, because of the Rings forklift and all those places, Walmart DC brought a big truck, 52-footer, over 20,000 pallets, over 20,000 waters.
Oh, wow.
To distribute right there on Clarkwood Street.
Okay.
The Walmart co-workers from out here, Walmart on New Franklin Road, came and helped unload, set up, and to distribute to the community.
Wow.
We were able to do that because of the community. And I want to really, don't want to overlook, but Katie Van Sheer, oh my God, her and the city and other city leaders, they pushed them. They were asking, who is a hub that's working in LaGrange? And they would send them to Confidence. We would drop off location, mothers, leaders, deacons, all entities of the church were there, and they worked 5 to 6 days a week.
Wow.
They had a take-in, a take-out. They had time slots to work, and we did that for probably about 60 to 90 days. Wow. We were giving out supplies to be able to help those that were affected by the storm victim, all the way from your local gift cards, bed linen, all those things. And so, but because of the trust between city, church, and all that, we're able to do that.
Absolutely. And it's so fitting and so important, because like you say, when someone's gone through a tragedy, and they've lost things, they're just looking for, like you said, that hope. They're looking for restoration. They're looking for a hug in a lot of cases too. As I close out, Michael, you used a term that I'm going to close out on. It's so fitting too.
I want to share something with you.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Another and many other entities, I want to thank them publicly because they helped, because they trusted and they were able to send them there. So all the local entities and outside entities, besides the city, BTV April, she would say, Pastor, this what we're going to do. Huh? I said, because I call her sometimes Sister Pastor. She said, this what we're going to do.
Okay.
And so, but they ask, and we're always grateful. If they call today, give me a few minutes.
You're there.
We're there because we have the space in the back. We're parking. We have several classrooms that were completed since I've been there. We have 6 classrooms downstairs and another kitchen.
Okay.
So we're able to maneuver it and be able to make it happen. And so, as you as well, Alton, I mean, it's so many people who have been there to make it happen. And so we're grateful. We would not be able to do it without the people. And so I think we can continue to do it on a larger scale because I get so many calls from homelessness to all those things. I tell you another thing I seen. I seen the people walk from the homeless shelter. And so I wanted to pick them up in my car. There was so many, and I said, Lord, bless us with a van that when they leave that place, they have somewhere to go, that they're not walking. We call it Kite Drive.
Right.
Walking from Kite Drive with babies and all, because it represents our city. And so I hope that at some point that just like they just did in Atlanta, where they have the little hubs or the little they have something where they built that got a little cottage where they come in, 1 bedroom. Hopefully we can get there on that scale. And I know that with the grace of God, we'll get there.
That's right. Absolutely. And as we close out, and we could go on and on, Michael.
Yes, sir.
But I just wanted, you used this term a moment ago. You're one for the task without the title.
Yes. Oftentimes, and just paraphrasing, people want work without a title. But I would use the phrase, I can do the task without the title.
Yeah.
Just because I'm the senior pastor don't mean I can't sweep the floor.
Okay.
Just because I'm the senior pastor don't mean I can't vacuum the floor. I learned this to learn all elements of an entity of a job. So if I need to work the sound room, I can work it.
Okay.
So that I'm not behind. So I believe as we come together, we're all servants.
Yes.
We're all servants, and so if you operate with a servant mentality, you can do because a lot of people have the title, but they don't do the task.
That's right.
It's a lot of people that's doing the task within the community, but they don't have the title.
That's right.
So I just love doing it. So if you get the task done, the title represents itself.
That's right.
Because it's not about title scricking. That does not matter. We're here to get one task, and that task is to build our community as our ministry, to unify our community, to unify our people from all walks of life within this community and surrounding communities, no matter if it's on the north, south, east, or west side of town. We're all here to work together to continuously build our city, make it a great city. Even as a chaplain, I just went on a call the other day. That was the sweetest little old lady. When I say she was so hospitable, she called me this morning and said, can you come back and pray with me? Caucasian lady, but she was just so nice, welcome me into her home. She needed that prayer right then. So being a part of the task, you can't just serve a certain group.
That's right.
You can't just serve a certain people, but we got to be here for all the people.
Absolutely. So fitting. So, and on that, Michael, I'm going to close because we could go on and on.
Yes, sir.
I see sometimes pastors, they take their watch off when they get ready to preach. And when I say, congregation, y'all know that means absolutely nothing, right?
I'm going to close in a minute.
You're going to close?
Give me 2 more points. I'm going to close.
Okay.
So this our third close. We can really close.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's right. Well, Mike, I want to thank you very much for being my guest today.
Thank you so much,
And we definitely
Alton.
going to have you come back again, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And happy Black History Month.
Yes, sir.
Let's continue to celebrate our heritage.
That's right.
We come a long way, and greater things are to come.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you so very much, Michael.
Thank you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week coming up in just a moment.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back, City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now's the time of the show that I can hear of all the things that are coming up in and around our city. And who better to let us know all about that? None other than from Visit LaGrange, Lynne Holle. Lynne, what do we have going on this week?
Thank you, Alton. Good morning. I'm Lynne Holle. This is City Scenes, and I'm from Visit LaGrange. Today we're going to be talking about some of the events that will be occurring in and around our area during the week of February 19th through February 25th. So let's get started. Tuesday, February 20th from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m., Great Wolf Lodge, Georgia hiring event at Great Wolf Lodge, LaGrange. Join our in-person hiring event. Come join the pack. Great Wolf is hiring for food and beverage, aquatics, housekeeping, retail, guest services, and more. Remember, that's Tuesday, February 20th from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. at Great Wolf Lodge. Thursday, February 22nd through Saturday, February 24th at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, February 25th at 3:30 p.m. Into the Woods, directed by Dave Durrell at LSPA Black Box Theater. Be careful what you wish for seems to be an ongoing theme in Stephen Soderman and James Lapine's Brothers Grimm inspired musical, Into the Woods. The story follows the baker and his wife, Cinderella, Jack and his cow, along with Little Red, Rapunzel, and an angry giant. We see how the consequences of their actions haunt them in disastrous ways as a community must come together to save each other and their kingdom. Doors open an hour before the show. You are welcome to bring your own food and beverages or purchase on site from our concessions. For tickets, call 706-882-9909 or go to lsparts.org. Saturday, February 24th, beginning at 10 a.m. and ending at 2 p.m., Together We Can at Lafayette Christian School Gym. Join us for the first annual Community Jamboree celebrating Black History Month and Rare Disease Month. Support community unity as we share the contribution of African American women, a Miracle League baseball game, and a West Georgia Wolverines basketball game. Vendors, food trucks, and fun for sure. This is a free event. Saturday, February 24th, starting at 11:30 a.m. and ending at 4 p.m., Falling in Love with Your Health and Opportunities Health Fair at Community Action for Improvement, located at 1380 Lafayette Parkway. On behalf of ICU Inc. and CEO Shamaya Patello, we are excited to invite you to the first event of the year that is sure to wake you up and motivate you for the rest of the year. The 2024 Falling in Love with Your Health and Opportunities Community Health Fair is happening on Saturday, February 24th from 11:30 until 4 at CAFE, which is Community Action for Improvement in LaGrange, Georgia. And you don't want to miss it. Hundreds of residents across Troup County and the surrounding regions will have access to free health screenings, education services, wellness services, and products. The event is open to the public and will kick off with a fun-filled opening ceremony that will include a low-impact Zumba workout to get your body moving. Surely you will be there, right? And remember, health is wealth. This is a free event. Also Saturday, February 24th at 7:30 p.m., Cody Matlock Band at Pure Life House of Music. Georgia-born singer-songwriter, guitarist Cody Matlock grew up playing the blues in Atlanta staple clubs such as Blind Willie's, Northside Tavern, Fat Matt's Rib Shack, and Darwin's. Cody began playing bars and clubs full-time before he was old enough to drive, thanks to his incredibly supportive parents and the welcoming Atlanta blues scene. Drawing inspiration from the likes of Sly and the Family Stone, Donny Hathaway, Johnny Guitar Watson, B.B. King, Sean Costello, and Stevie Wonder, Cody is blending the sounds of blues, R&B, funk, and jazz to create his own style of soul music, always searching. For tickets, go to purelifelagrange.com.